Volume Cluster Analysis, or VCA, has been completely redesigned for NT8 with new algos and user options. The volume cluster parameters allow the user to overlay point of control, volume cluster, value area, and volume weighted average price information on the OFA bars. Each individual element is classified as buying, selling, or neutral based on a color logic setting. When the period data matches the corresponding logic selection, any enabled visualizations will adopt the color selection defined for the classification. As an example, by enabling the POC, or point of control element, and applying it to the chart, we now see the POC of each bar displayed as an overlay. The color of each POC is determined by the logic selection. By changing the logic selection, we're changing the classifications of some of the periods from buying or selling into neutral classifications. On the chart, you can see POCs colored red for selling or green for buying will turn gray for neutral classification when the logic is set to use the value area instead of the POC price as a trigger. The best way to fully understand each logic setting is to consider the naming convention. POC logic compares the last traded price, or close price of a period, to the POC price. Any close price above the POC is classified as buying. Below the POC is classified as selling, and as is the case in this period, a close price equal to the POC is neutral. We're looking at static historical periods on a chart here, but in real time, this classification is dynamic based on the last trade price and the constantly moving POC. VWAP logic is similar to POC logic in that only a single price is compared. Value and cluster logic use the high and low price ranges of the percentage-based calculations to provide a larger range of neutral classification possibilities. The logic is not dependent on the chart variables being enabled. This makes it possible to display only the POC and cluster elements in the bars, but to have them classified by value area logic. There are extensive combinations available to suit user preferences. Cluster and value area percent can be defined, and a gradient overlay can be added to the enabled variables. Preset defaults can be set up by clicking the Preset button and hitting Save.